The 3 days leading up to Ascension Thursday are called Rogation days, coming from the Latin word rogare, which means to beg or to ask. It all dates back to the 5th century in France when a number of natural disasters had occurred, and the local bishop asked his people to pray and do penance and to invoke the saints, so God's anger would be abated and that his blessings would come upon the people. So they had processions, they had masses, they sang songs, they asked the saints for their help. Now, today we may think that that's kind of a primitive way of dealing with something. Why don't we just work harder? Why don't we think harder? Why don't we come up with a solution that'll solve the problem, right? I was reading yesterday that for 17 years they've been working on a vaccine for this virus, and they have not been able to come up with one. Some things just don't have quick solutions. Sometimes there are no solutions. Sometimes things happen unexpectedly, and there's nothing we can do. There's a couple of things I think we can focus on during these Rogation days. One is humility before God, really realizing that He is God and we are not. We are creatures, He is the creator, He's in charge. No matter what we try to do or no matter how hard we work, He is in control. Number 2, to have a respect for creation. Now, I say that not as a granola-eating, tree-hugger hippie. I say it as the son of a farmer who has a great respect for the land and loves the land, loves creation. But to have a sense of awe and gratitude for it. The outdoors have taught me a great deal about my own littleness, really, realizing that in this grand universe, we are just one small player. So I invite you during these days to implore God's mercy upon the land, that we may be freed and rid of this coronavirus, and that we will turn once again with hearts rejoicing to God in our churches. But there are a few things that we can do. I don't like to do penance. I don't think you do either. Nobody does. Besides, it's Easter time. So we don't want to do too strict of a penance. But there's a few things we can do. One, we can abstain from meat maybe one day, just to make that sacrifice. Number 2, we can invoke the saints. We can maybe ask our favorite saint for help. St. Charles Borromeo would be a good one. He was one who encouraged his own diocese also, and a great way to celebrate Rogation days. So maybe him or St. Francis of Assisi, any saint for that matter. Number 3, make a suitable, an act of charity. Phone call to somebody, a visit to somebody, a donation, stop complaining one day, I don't know. Who knows what our prayers and our penances can accomplish? But that's up to God. So let us do what we can and know that God is never outdone. And we can just give Him a little bit and He can return a great deal to us. So offer a little sacrifice and receive an abundance of blessings from God. Okay? God bless you. Bye-bye.